Terms and Definitions, ACM. You should familiarize yourself with some of the common terms and definitions you may encounter in alternative control method scenarios. An ACM, or alternative control method, is a written method for the control of hazardous energy in situations where lockout is not used. Such situations may include routine tasks which are integral to the use of equipment for production, repetitive in nature, or as otherwise permitted based upon an effective risk assessment. ACM is not isolation of equipment. This is regulatory law per OSHA and ANSI. OSHA and Toyota only permit ACM under limited circumstances. Why we can use ACMs. Lockout is the primary method of energy control. However, on occasion, an alternative control method may be appropriate. We get our ability to perform ACM for two reasons. The minor servicing exception in the scope of 1910.147. This states that minor tool changes and adjustments and other minor servicing activities which take place during normal production operations are not covered by this standard if they are routine, repetitive, and integral to the use of the equipment for production, provided that the work is performed using alternative measures which provide effective protection. ANSI Z244.1-2016 references a list of certain tasks which could be approved for an ACM due to being routine, repetitive, and integral. These instances may include but are not limited to die changing, tool changing, make ready, lubricating, roll polishing, cleaning, and adjusting. Justification and TABRA. In order to use an ACM, you will need to perform TABRA. TABRA stands for Task-Based Risk Assessment. TABRA is a required systematic approach to evaluating the hazards of a task requiring team members to interact with machines and equipment. Phase 1 is to qualify and justify. Phase 2 is to assess controls. Justification and TABRA must be completed for ACM use to ensure controls are as effective as isolation. But wait, what about troubleshooting? Troubleshooting is a diagnostic activity, which may include testing where the primary function is to identify the source of a machine problem. Typical activities associated with troubleshooting are visual examination, inspection without contact, and observation of indicator lamps and signals. If entry into the danger zone is required, lockout is the primary method of control. Entry via ACM must be approved by a task-based risk assessment. This does not include repairing or making any physical alteration of any part of the equipment, such as moving components inside the cell, for example, carrier, jigs, parts, and etc., making, tightening, or loosening connections, removing or replacing components, or any part of the safety system. For example, light curtains, mats, scanners, and etc. As part of troubleshooting, you can take voltage measurements if trained in ESWP. Once troubleshooting is completed, an additional ACM or lockout procedure will be required for the actual repair. ACM Visualization Placard. Examples. Once the ACM process is completed or approved for each task, the specific task must be listed on a visualization matrix. A visualization similar to the ones pictured here will be placed at machine cell entrances. The ACM matrix will depict which controls are to be utilized for each task. Before utilizing an ACM, an authorized person must be trained on the specified procedure.